Alright.
Next one on the list is a real bastard to build. It's witch preset, and the preset that the game gives you is complete bollocks. You now have a different problem. You're not spreading out damage because everything you do is physical from necromancy tree and from auto attacks, but the issue is that necromancy spells scale with warfare and intelligence. That makes it a strange combination. Your normal attacks will scale off finesse. From gear you have a couple of choices. If you went down the intelligence route, then wand and shield would be your best choice. But then you lose completely your finesse and your daggers and scoundrel abilities. So it's not a witch anymore. It's more of a necromancer. You could still go one dagger plus shield. That would be pretty good, or pretty good combination. Or you can go two daggers. Really, it's your preference of what you like and what you want to focus on. Now let's cover the attributes. We're going to focus either on finesse or on intelligence. If we want to go more auto attacks damage route, which I would suggest for the first part of the game, first region, then we can only put points into finesse. This would remain the same, Scoundrel and Necromancer, and for the first 8 levels or so in the first region I'd focus Warfare, because Warfare will increase physical damage dealt with the Necromancy spells and with your auto attacks. So that's extremely good. Scoundrel will give you abilities from Scoundrel tree, and you need 2 points during the first region into that, and 2 points into Necromancy is more than enough. So 2 and all the rest into Warfare. I know I'm probably already boring you with Warfare, but it's such a great combat ability that it should be utilized whenever you can. In this setup we are mostly focusing on DPS with our daggers. You should use second dagger here. The whole setup can remain intelligence based besides the dagger. And from these skills I'd go for something like Backlash, Decaying Touch and Bloodsucker. With these abilities you'll be able to strip down enemy of their armor with your dagger attacks, and then you can initiate Decaying Touch plus Bloodsucker combo. When you put Decaying Touch on someone, they will have status called Decayed. Whenever you cast a healing spell upon a decaying enemy, they will receive damage instead. So this is a good combo. And it can be also good in a group, especially if you have Hydra Sophist in your group. He will benefit from it. Problem with Necromancy abilities is that they do physical damage, but they scale with intelligence. So it's kind of hard to build something that would be spread out and spread out efficiently. We are now in the same problem. Without intelligence we will not do as much damage as we can with full intelligence setup with necromancy spells. But then again, we will with full finesse do most of our DPS through the dual daggers. Chloroform is useless no matter how you define this character, because whatever you do, you'll do physical damage, and this is resisted by magic armor. These are all good skills: Adrenaline, Throwing Knife. In the end, it's up to you which of these skills you want to take, as long as you don't take Chloroform. So that's the first version, when we are basing our damage on dual daggers, but still the spells will do a lot of damage too, because we have lots of points into Warfare. Warfare increases the damage of these spells. Not Bloodsucker, but Decaying Touch and Mosquito Swarm. So this scales with Warfare and Intelligence and your level. So these spells will still hurt, but the question is it even worth putting these spells on an enemy, because you can do more damage with your daggers? So this is the issue here. That's why I'm saying this is one of the toughest presets to play, because they really don't work together, because you need different types of attributes to max it out. As for the second version, I'd put most of my points into intelligence, and I'd have dagger plus shield. With dagger you can still do decent damage from backstab, even if you do not focus finesse, because backstabs are automatic criticals. And with Scoundrel, your automatic criticals will do more damage. If we are going down this route, nothing would change. 2 points into Scoundrel, 2 points into Necromancy, max out Warfare. Same thing. If you want, you can still do dual daggers, no reason not to. You'll not max out your damage, but it's still going to be significant amount of damage from backstabs. So it's perfectly viable. If I went down this route, I'd still stick with this setup. And then you can add something later on, whatever you like. Backlash is just too good to ignore with anyone wielding daggers. From the talents, Pawn is useful, Executioner is also useful. All skilled up bigger and better from level 2 onward are good for this, because you are spreading a lot of points through combat abilities, and some more attribute points to increase your survivability wouldn't hurt you. Stench is extremely good for this setup too. Opportunist as well. Elemental affinity should be used if you're focusing on intelligence based setup. Then when someone is bleeding, your necro spells will cost 1 less action point. If you're using finesse based witch, then I'd focus more on stuff like the Pawn or Executioner and Opportunist. Glass Cannon is an option, but you need to be extremely careful with this one. You might try it out early game. If it doesn't work, you can change it later on, but in early game it's more useful than later. One more thing that will help you out is if you put 1 point into Polymorph throughout your adventure in first region, and then learn Chicken Claw and Chameleon Cloak. Chameleon Cloak would be especially good with this setup, so that you don't have to worry about being targeted all the time. And this would be my witch build. I mean, 2 versions of it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching, and see you soon.
Toodaloo, motherfucker!